Y'all hear what I said? I said that's how Beyonce be. That's what she be asking y'all. How y'all feeling out there? And she do the give me some. I'm sorry. That's the kind of mood I'm in today. I hope that all of you had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. I just come to talk to you about some things. Clearly, judging by the title, how daddy issues jacked up my relationships. I don't know about you, but my daddy issues really jacked up some stuff. And I want to talk to you today about the different areas where our lives are most affected by our daddy issues, right? So give it a minute, let some people come in the room. If you're watching on Instagram, let me know your name. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know your name, where you're watching from, and all of that good stuff. I had a really good day. Well, kind of stressful. My kids were on level 10 today, but we made it. So glad we made it. Amen. I made it. Hello, Facebook. I see 2 viewers. Say hello. Let me know your name. I'm going to get started in about a minute or so. I want to talk about it, and I want you to stay. Please stay so that you can really see. A lot of people have no idea that daddy issues are affecting the way that they're showing up, the way they show up in love, the way they show up in church, the way they show up in their career. We really don't know how daddy issues are affecting us. So what I want to do today is I'm not going to go too much into it. Now my mom's calling me back. Gotta call her back. But I want to really, I'm sorry, let me go ahead and decline it. All right, call mommy back. Okay, y'all remind me in case I don't remember. But how it's affecting our lives, because it affects us in more ways than we can imagine. And I had a young lady reach out to me, and she was telling me like all the things that she started to experience. And I was like, how did you know? Like, how did you know to trace that back to daddy? How did you know to trace back your isolation, your withdrawing, building your walls, you're not being able to communicate? How did you know that was a daddy issue? Like, how did you connect those dots? It's really super hard. Come on, Facebook. It's for y'all. Stay in the room. Please stay in the room. Listen to what I got to say. So I can really preach this to you guys, because I think that this is super, super, super powerful. So how does it affect you? So today I want to answer the question like my best friend asked me. We were on the phone one night and she was like, well, sis, how are you managing your daddy issues? One thing I do not want to do is manage. I'm not trying to manage. I'm not trying to just get by to get by. I'm not just trying to get to a place where I can live with it. I have no desire to coexist with daddy issues. I have no desire to coexist with mommy wounds. I have no desire to coexist with father wounds. I have literally no desire to live with these things. And I want you to think about it. What's that one thing? Like, think about a family member that comes over and they come in and they put their feet all on your stuff. They go to your refrigerator, they eat all your food, literally sucking the life out of you. Do you really necessarily want that person in your house? Because they're family, we want them to stay. Nah, like just because I've known you for a long time, just because I'm familiar with daddy issues, don't mean I'm trying to kick it with you for the rest of my life. I don't want to coexist with you. I don't want to see how I can live my life and go around you. Now I'm giving you the boot, not only out of my life, but I'm giving you the boot out of my bloodline. I'm giving you the boot out of my generation. I'm giving you the boot. Like, you have been in our family. You've been in my bloodline for way too long. And I'm giving you the boot. We are not coexisting. We are not friends. You cannot call me later. I'm not leaving the door open for you. If I'm talking good, go ahead and say what's up in the comment section. Hey, Asia, how you doing, sweetheart? So Asia signed up for my relationship clinic, and I'm super, super, super excited about that. So with that being said, stay in the room. Stay in the room. Let's talk about it. So like I said, I don't want to coexist with daddy issues. I no longer want to live with daddy issues. I no longer want to walk on eggshells with daddy issues. I'm not like, nah, we ain't kicking it. We ain't cool. We ain't friends. Like, you got to go. So she asked how I manage it. And I began to like really go through every single relationship in my life that daddy issues has affected me. Let's talk about the one being most important. My relationship with God was completely screwed, was completely misconstrued, was completely I wouldn't even say obliterated, but it was a major blockage for me reaching God. Now, what I do as a life coach, as a healer relationship coach, as a relationship attachment coach, I want to help you form a healthy attachments. Healthy attachments are something that it's a skill that has to be developed. And we do not create healthy relationships when we did not create healthy relationships as a child. Like we carry those same patterns on how to love, how to receive or give love, our affection, our love languages, all of these things I believe is transferred from our father, from our childhood. So with that being said, we're taking these into our relationships. It's literally like you have your baggage, and everywhere you go, you got your bags packed. You are like the bag lady or the bag man. If you're watching this video and you are a man, bag lady, you gonna miss your bus. You gonna miss your trip to your next destination. You gonna miss your trip to your next level. You gonna miss your trip to promotion, elevation, because you got too many bags. Daddy issues is the bag. And inside of that bag, you have your anger, you have your hurt, you have your pain, you have your trauma, you have, what else do you have in this bag? Go ahead and share this video to those that you think need to hear this. But you have all of your crap in this bag, and then you take this bag with you into every relationship. Everywhere you go, you got your bag. You ever seen like people who like designer things, and everywhere they go, they want to show you that they got their Louis. They want to show you that they got their Gucci. Like this is how you look with your bag in every relationship. It's in there. It's in the way. People are tripping up over it. You're tripping up over it. It's an entire problem. We got to unpack this bag and put this bag up. Why do you still have bags up if you're back home, right? Like if I just came off of a trip, right? Why do I still have my bags packed? Why do I still have my bags in my room? Why are my clothes still in my bag in a place where I'm back home, I'm back settled? Why are my bags still a problem when I'm in this? Why are my bags still a problem while I'm in this? Let me say it one more time. Why are my bags still a problem if I'm back home? Where am I planning on going? Right. So our baggage of our daddy issues are still in our life, and we got to deal with it. So to answer the question, so I brought my bag into my relationship with God. And it was really hard for me to connect with God. It was really hard for me to be intimate with God because he calls himself Father. And it was really hard for me to connect with God, Father, when I couldn't even connect with my biological father. I don't even know my biological father like that. How can I connect with you, be God? Because in my mind, my daddy is absent. My dad is emotionally unavailable. My dad is distant. My dad is, hey, Sean, my dad only talks to me when I'm doing something wrong, or if he comes around, is always when he wants to give me a lesson, but there's no relationship. That's how I felt with God. And I was like, first of all, you don't show up for me. I'm coming to spend time with you every single day. You're not showing up. I'm doing what you're telling me to do. I got my little list. I'm checking them off, and I still don't feel close to you. I still don't feel like I know you. And this is how I was showing up to God, because I'm coming to him with my issues, and I'm wearing it. It's hard. I talked to men before, and they told me it's hard to connect with God as Father. That's too intimate. I don't know that relationship. I don't know how to develop or cultivate that place with him. And I remember God told me, take your face of your father off of my face. I'm not your dad. I won't leave you. I won't forsake you. I will provide for you. I will protect you. Like those were things that I needed to hear, because I never had that before. I never had a hug from my dad. I never was held by my dad. I never had that. So I'm taking this into my relationship with God, because if I believe this about my father, I learned this in my trauma class the other day. Our mind works on generalizations. So the only reason why you remember a car is because you've seen a car before. Our brain prepares us for any trauma, anything that may happen, and it does it to protect us so that you can know what to do the next time. Our bodies, our brains are already focusing on the next situation, the next thing that can happen, and we're already prepared. That's why we fear rejection, because I know how rejection felt. And because I know how rejection felt, I don't want to feel that. Therefore, my brain has already come up with defense mechanism, protection mechanisms to protect me. So here I got, my daddy was like this. So if my daddy was like this, if the man that gave me birth was like this, then for sure my biological father, my God in heaven, he's going to be like this. If my dad is distant, then God has to be distant. If my father didn't really love me the way I needed to, why would God love me? Because he's perfect. Why would an imperfect God love me? Right. So I took this into my relationship with God. It was really hard for me to connect with God. It was really hard for me to trust God when it came to money. Literally, I would ask God to, I got this need. They say, go to God, tell him your needs. I'm going to him. And I'm like, I need money. I'm not working. I got fired from my job. I need to be provided for. And I asked God, but I remember being in a place where I didn't give God enough time to do anything because I already got my mind made up. I already know what I need to do in this situation. So, um I got mad at God. I was like, you're not coming through for me. I need this. And I feel like you're sitting there not doing what I need. Like you're just sitting there looking at me, asking, like you watching me struggle. And I honestly thought that God took pleasure in seeing me struggle because that's what the church teaches us, right? And the reason why I associated with my dad, because I would ask my dad for things every blue moon and he would never come through for me. So I always had to have a plan B because just in case you don't come through when I'm asking you for something, I got to make sure that I'm good. I always got to make sure that I'm good. I was not a daughter of God. I was not a daughter of my own father. So I became what is spiritually known as an orphan, where you don't have your biological father, where you don't have a father figure. I felt like I was alone, and now I got to fend for myself. Now I got to take care of myself because nobody else will take care of me. And this transferred into my other relationships. And let's go to friendships. I took my baggage into my friendships because one thing I did not know is daddy issues also show up in how you relate to people. It is how you show up is how you relate to other people. Okay. So because I was broken in my friendships, I had this codependency even with my friends. I didn't know I could trust my friends. Um, I didn't know that my friends would accept me. So I had to put on this facade, this fake image just to be accepted and be loved by people I wanted to love me. What does that have to do with my dad? Well, me and my father, I didn't have a good relationship with my dad. So here I am trying to, not even trying to make him love me because at the time that's not what I was thinking about, but I'm using my friends to fill my voids. And because I already have a void and I got people around me who are doing things, I want to do what they're doing because what they're doing is clearly numbing their pain. So I need my pain to be numbed as well. So I got high. I slept around because another thing about daddy issues is it will make women promiscuous because I'm sleeping with you to fulfill a void. I'm sleeping with you to feel love. That was my thing. I equated sex with love. So if you sleep with me, then you love me. Hi, mommy. So she's here. Okay, so is this making sense to you guys? So I was promiscuous because one thing I see on movies and things like that, they always paint the girl who didn't have a good relationship with her father and she slept around a lot. Aretha Franklin being one of them. She had a church wound and she also had a violation with her father. There are so many people in the world who did not grow up with a dad, and you see them overcoming it and doing things that they didn't think that they'll be able to do or they weren't going to do before because they didn't have that relationship, but they've surpassed it and done great things. But even though they're making these accolades that look like there's nothing wrong with them, it looks as if there's nothing wrong with them. It looks as if there's nothing wrong with them, but their hearts are broken. Like they're beautiful on the outside. They got all their things checked off. Hey, Aaron, they have all their things checked off. However, they're broken internally. So it affected my relationship with my friends, people pleasing, being perfect, trying to be accepted by them. Thirdly, so how did daddy issues jack up my love life? I mean, I started because I'm getting ready to do this program next week. I was like, okay, why did I start healing my daddy issues? Like, why did I say, okay, this is the time to do this? Yeah, my love life sucked. It sucked. It sucked everything that you could think about, but it also sucked my energy. It sucked my personality. It sucked my identity. My whole self became so invested in this relationship. In all of my relationships, I wasn't able to speak up for myself. I was so insecure. I was clingy. I was possessive. I was overprotective. What does that have to do with my daddy? Well, if you trace it back, some of these things are present in our life because of the stories that we tell. We begin to create narratives. And I had this narrative in my mind of what I wanted. I had this narrative in my mind that I must not be good enough. I had this narrative in my mind, like, I heard this one young lady say, we don't go around thinking about all of our beliefs, we just live them. And there were so many beliefs that were instilled in me because we live based on what we were taught. And you are taught more so, your parents also be like, do as I say, not as I do as I say and not as I do. Well, children learn by doing. So if you're doing this, I'm picking this up. So you're teaching me things in your absence, and you're also teaching me things in your presence. You being around is teaching me things. You being around, you're not showing me no attention. That tells me that I'm unimportant. It tells me that I have to fight to be heard. And when you are not around, maybe you're not around because as children, we try to fill in the blanks. We are always trying to fill in the blanks, trying to make an understanding of a world that is not like short cookie cutter answers. So as a child, I created these fill in the blank answers to cope, to live, to understand. And I take that with me. How my dad loves me, I take that with me, or how he did not love me. It creates either a void in me. So now I am excessively trying to fill this void, or it creates this wall in me. I don't want nothing to do with it because you are all the same. So my love life sucked. I did not know who I was because I didn't have a dad to tell me who I was. And because I don't know who I am, I don't know my worth. And because I don't know my worth, I stay in relationships longer than I should. Because I don't know my worth, I don't know how to say no. Because I don't know my worth, I'm people pleasing and performing because in my mind, I think that this is what I have to do to be loved. I'm performing because I want you to be close to me. I'm performing because this is all I've ever known. I'm performing because maybe me and my siblings were at rivalry because my dad only paid attention to this one sibling. So now I have to do things to be seen. Now I'm attention seeking. Or I'm trying to cope with the fact that I was unloved or I was unwanted by my dad. So now I get into drug addiction, alcoholism, and addictions because I want to be filled because I never was filled before. Do you guys see how daddy issues are intricately weaving itself into every one of our relationships? It's a pattern. We take the pattern from childhood into our lives. We take the pattern of, and you would think it's going to go away because I get older. It doesn't go away because you get older. It goes away once you deal with it. It doesn't go away just because you hit 30. It doesn't go away because you got 100K or you just reached 7 figures. It doesn't go away because you had a daughter or a son. It doesn't go away because now you got your little boyfriend. It doesn't go away because he proposed. It doesn't go away. You have to actually process and deal with this trauma that was left by a dad, because if you don't, it's going to deal with you. It's going to come back up. It's going to come back up. It doesn't just go away. It doesn't just tuck you into bed and say good night and sing you sweet dreams. Like daddy issues torment you. It's like a whack-a-mole. If you don't deal with it in your childhood, it's going to show up in your adulthood. If you don't deal with daddy issues in your singleness, you're gonna deal with it in your marriage. I just spoke at a women's conference, a marriage conference the other day. Trust me, after I was done speaking, there were so many women that came up to me and told me thank you. They told me, thank you for what you shared with us. Like that was all prevalent. One lady said, I had daddy issues in my marriage and everything that you said was everything that I experienced. Daddy issues kills love. Daddy issues is like an infection. It's literally like an infection that is eating away at everything that you love, everything that you desire, everything that you deserve. It is eating away at the way that you love you. Let's talk about the relationship with you. How did daddy issues affect the way that I loved me? I didn't know how to love me. So I went in the world to try to figure this out. I don't know how to love me. I don't know how to love. What is love? What is it supposed to feel like? What is it supposed to look like? And we take those patterns. So if you saw your mom in an abusive relationship, you find yourself in an abusive relationship because this is what love is supposed to be. Or you tell yourself, I will never be in an abusive relationship. So you made these inner vows and now you don't want to connect with anybody because you don't want to go through what mama went through. How do you love you? Your loving you is equated to your worth and what you believe about yourself. And how can you believe anything about yourself if you've never been told who you are or how important or how special or what you deserve? I don't know. I started to learn my worth through love that failed. I learned I learned how to love myself after saying, oh my God, I don't want this. This is not what I want. Why do I keep accepting? Why do I keep settling? This is not what I want. Why do I keep accepting it? So whenever you're getting out of relationship, we don't take time to process it. After the breakup, you need to sit down and be like, why did I take that? What was I willing to accept? Where does this come from? Where are these thoughts coming from? Why do I believe this about myself? Why do I think this about myself? Who told me this? Where is it rooted from? Because if not, you're going to keep going through the same cycle. It's like people ask me to pray for them and I pray for them. But if you don't change, all you're going to do is go back to the same person or the same situation. You have to be transformed to stop attracting the things that you were attracting before. Daddy issues affects your relationship with yourself because you're taking how you were loved into everything else. And if you were loved poorly, you will accept poor love. But if your father loved you, if he adored you, if he pampered you, if he spoke into you, if he spoke well over you, and all of these things, whenever you show up to your career and they don't do it, you already have a certain standard set. You already have that standard set. And when you're not getting that standard, it's more easy for you to walk away because you understand that I've been filled. I used to get filled at home. And this is the analogy that I use often. Hey, Maisha, can you give me my charger? This is the analogy that I use often. When I get filled at home, when I go into, like, Chick-fil-A is one of my favorite restaurants, y'all. The glory is upon the life of Chick-fil-A. The glory is upon the business of Chick-fil-A, right? So whenever I leave home and I've ate at home, even if I go past what I used to like, even if I go past what I used to love or what I still love, I'm not tempted to stop. I'm not tempted to eat at these restaurants. Why? Because I'm full. I'm full already. But when I don't eat at home, everything looks good to me. Everything is a temptation. I want to stop to all the restaurants. It's like going into the grocery store and you come in there for one thing, but you hungry now. Everything looks good and you're taking everything. But when you're full at home, you're not desperate in love. Woo, I almost stopped my hands. That was a churchy. When you're full at home, you're not desperate in love. When you're full at home, you're not desperate for a position. You're not desperate for likes. You're not desperate for social media attention. When you're filled at home, you can wear all your clothes because I don't have to do this to get when you're full, you're not deficient. And we have to get that fulling somewhere. And if your biological father did not give it to you, you now have to do that for yourself. The inner child in you now has to be reparented in all of these different things, which is a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. Last but not least, daddy issues jacked up my relationship with money, my opportunities. And this kind of ties in with believing in myself. I did not believe in myself. So daddy issues, that's not even, believing in yourself is one thing, but it keeps us stuck. Daddy issues is like a prison of the mind. I heard it said that trauma affects the body and the nervous system more than your mind. If you literally have trauma locked in your body, do you know that you can remember as far as 3 months of age in the womb? And if there was anything, any rejection, anything that your mom experienced while carrying you, you will carry. Did you know that your even though you don't remember mentally, that you're remembering it in your spirit, like you're remembering it in your soul. It's called sensory memory. So you're remembering it. So daddy issues affects your motivation to want to try, to want to excel, to want to go higher. There's limitations and barriers because what if I fail? What if this doesn't work out? So now you're messing with your money. You're messing with your God-given purpose to do what you were created to do. Because if you had a father telling you you can do this, and even if you fail, I got your back. Even if it don't work out the way that you think it is, poverty is directly related to daddy issues. But if you had a father that was abundant, if you had a father that there was never no, or if you had a father that had all the money in the world, you can get whatever you want, and there was never any lack or limitation, you're more willing to go and try. You're not afraid to try things. You're not afraid of being rejected because I got my dad at home. So it's messing with your money. It's messing with your calling. It's daddy issue sucks the life out of the very reason why you were born. The enemy's plan for your life before you were even born, back when Adam and Eve was in the garden, he wanted us to be orphans. He wanted us to be without a father. That was his plan from the beginning of time. He never wanted us to relate to God. He never wanted us to have a relationship with God. And he definitely didn't want us to become children of God. The Bible says that he gave us back our sonship, basically. You're no longer orphans, but you are sons. That means like it comes with an inheritance. An inheritance is oftentimes money. Where there is no father, there is no inheritance. So how does daddy issues affect my money? Well, he's supposed to leave an inheritance for his children, but a lot of our dads aren't leaving legacy. A lot of our fathers are leaving us in poverty. They're not teaching us financial wisdom, financial literacy. We don't know anything. They're not helping us in school, so we're dropping out. Daddy issues affects us with depression, anxiety disorder. So it's not just, oh, Tiara just talking about daddy issues because whatever. But you need to really, what I want your homework, as I'm closing right now, your homework is to get a piece of paper and a pen. And I want you to write out all of the things that you've experienced in life and just do like a trace. Trace it back to your daddy. Not trace it back to your daddy, but just trace it. Why do I feel this way? Why am I not going for opportunities? What barriers or limitations am I facing? Has my relationships failed? Do I withdraw? Do I build walls? Do I trust men? Is it hard for me to relate to God? And just trace it back. And if it comes to daddy, check on it. That's all I'm saying. I'm just telling you to do your own assessment and then come to me because I want to help you heal. Because daddy issues affects us on every level. God, relationship with others, relationship with, matter of fact, God, relationship with yourself, relationship with others, romantically, platonically, and your relationship with money. Stop allowing daddy issues to suck the life out of who you were called to be, who you were created to be. Do not let daddy issues suck the life out of you becoming the best version of yourself. Do not allow daddy issues to make you walk around with baggage that is so heavy that you're missing opportunities. Don't let daddy issues keep you from becoming who that you created to be. Like it literally, the life that you want is on the other side of your daddy issues, but you got to get over the hurdle. Daddy issues, how I kind of opened up, I was saying, we've been with it too long. Daddy issues have been with us and it's become too familiar. Daddy issues is the giant that was raised to slay you. I think about the story about the lady who had the pet snake. And she was living with the snake was living with her, and she was feeding it, and it was her pet. Then the snake started to scratch, and the snake stopped eating, and she took her snake to the doctor, and the doctor said, has your snake been like not eating? Has he been stretching, like becoming as long as you? And she said, yeah. He said, your snake is preparing to eat you. We've been living with daddy issues too long. We've been feeding it. We've been ignoring it. We've been avoiding it. We've been suppressing it. We've been calling it something else. Because people tell you, oh, just go get under a new man, girl. No, you need to get healed, girl. Don't get under no new man. The new man ain't gonna cure this. Your new boyfriend ain't gonna cure this. More money ain't gonna cure this. A new business ain't gonna cure this. A new job is not gonna cure this. You keep going from place to place, but you're still broken. You're not getting cured. You're not getting healed to be able to show up differently. So this father issues, daddy issues leads to mother issues, trust issues, insecurities, and all of these different issues, sizing you up, enlarging itself so that it can consume you. Daddy issues wants to destroy you. Daddy issues wants to destroy you. Destroy every single thing that God has already assigned to you. Daddy issues wants to destroy the plan for your life. It wants to keep you in prison. And what happens in prison? You don't produce. You cannot legally, if you're unmarried, sleep with somebody while you're in an imprisoned state. You cannot bear anything. You can't give birth to nothing. A lot of our dreams, a lot of our desires are literally locked away in the prison with us. Legacy locked away until we heal. So this is how daddy issues are jacking up your relationships. Daddy, not daddy, God, yourself, others, romantically, platonically, and money is jacking it up. And if you want love that lasts, if you want to love yourself, if you want to become the best version of yourself, if you want to stop being a perfectionist, you want to stop performing and being a people pleaser, if you want to learn to speak up for yourself, if you want to be more secure in love, if you want to draw closer to God and be more intimate with the Lord, you have to heal your wounds, because we live from our wounds. We live from our wounds. We live from our wounds. Okay. So I'm doing next week, I'm going to be diving into this a little bit more for the next 5 days. All right. I've posted, hey y'all, I'm posting here the clinic. If you believe that you have daddy issues, if you don't know if you have daddy issues, the relationship clinic. If you don't know and you want to figure out, come on over to visit the clinic. I got some assessments. I'll give you some assessments and we'll walk through it and we'll figure out if you have daddy issues. All right. If you want to know before you even do that, go to, I'm going to write bit.ly/do I have daddy issues? If you want to just ask, these are also in my bio. bit.ly/do I have daddy issues? Take the assessment. If it says yes, come on over. You also will know if you have daddy issues if you grew up with an emotionally unavailable father, if your father was present but emotionally unavailable, if your father was absent altogether, you very more than likely have daddy issues. If you were raised in a single parent home and you didn't see much of your daddy, you may have daddy issues, trauma. If you have delayed getting healed or having the conversation, you inherently have damages. If you never take your car to get service, your car, once needing repairs, is now totaled, damaged, can't do anything about it. But the good thing is you can still heal. You're not too damaged for God to heal. You're not too damaged to overcome daddy issues. You're not too damaged to not manage, because we don't want to manage. We want to completely disconnect from daddy issues. We're going to be talking about attachment wounds the next week coming. We're going to be talking about soul ties. Let me tell y'all the rundown. Y'all mind if I share the rundown with you? I don't know if I got it. Canva. So it's going to be 5 days, Monday through Friday. The link is in my bio. We will be talking about on day 1, the mathing, where you got symptoms and we kind of call it something else. You know, you got them symptoms and it's like you got misdiagnosed by people, misdiagnosed by loved ones, misdiagnosed by people that don't understand what you've been going through, and they kind of be like, girl, ain't nothing wrong with you. Misdiagnosed, the math ain't math, and there's clearly something here, right? Then you got day 2, F you, heal anyway. Forgive yourself, forgive you, forgive you better, just forgive. The beginning of all of this is forgiveness. In order to heal, you must first forgive. So F you, heal anyway. Then day 3 is the break room. And you know how when you go to the clinic and they tell you to go, oh, we've examined you, now go to the next room to go see the doctor. This is the break room, but this is going to be one of the break rooms, like the smash rooms, the rage room, where you can completely smash everything in there and get all of this out, because emotions are energy in motion. A lot of us have so much pent up anger, pent up hurt, pent up pain, pent up fears. Is just balled up in your body and you have to get it out. And that's what the break room is going to be. We're going to, in the time that we have, we're going to try to get some of this stuff out. It's a free clinic, y'all. Then day 4 is know your worth and add tax. I'm so excited about that, because after we forgive, after we break some things, break our paradigms and shift our mind, shift our thinking, shift our moods, and be able to understand these things, we're going to know our worth. And once you know your worth, you can add tax. Once I discovered my worth and when I can tell people no, when I discovered what I was worth, what I deserved, then I didn't just stop there. I was like, hey, this is what I want. These are my standards, and I'm not accepting or receiving anything less. That was super dope once I got to that place. And then day 5 is let your soul glow. You know, like on the movie, what's the movie with Eddie Murphy? Coming to America. Let your soul glow. It's something special when your soul glows, when others can tell the difference in your life, in your heart, your soul glowing through your relationship. The Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence, because from it flows life. And I want you to flow from security. I want you to flow from your soul, a healed soul, not a trauma soul. There is a big difference between a trauma soul and a healed soul. There's a big difference between a traumatized brain and a healed brain. And I can't wait to see you guys heal. So that's what I have for you tonight. I hope that you enjoyed that. I pray that made sense to you. Daddy issues are jacking up your relationship. So if your relationships are jacked up with God, if it's jacked up with yourself, if you have a poor relationship with yourself, don't know how to love you, don't know how to pamper you, don't know how to take care of you, if you have a poor relationship romantically, or a poor relationship platonically, where you don't really have good relationship with friends and you isolate and cut people off, and you have your walls up and you just don't get close and you sabotage and all of that, if this is something that you are doing and you aren't taking opportunities and there's barriers and you feel like you cannot elevate beyond, then just write those things down and trace it back. And if it ends back up that daddy is the root, because father, patriarch, is source, then just see if all roads lead to daddy. And if all roads lead to daddy, then it's time for you to heal, so that you can break down that barrier, destroy that, and create new paths for yourself. It'll be beautiful. I'm telling you, healing is amazing. I'm still recovering after some years, but it's the best thing that I could have ever done for myself. It's time to invest in you. So go ahead and start investing in you for the day of love, Valentine's Day. You treat yourself good. You don't treat yourself good no other days, but Valentine's Day, you let this man pamper you and take you out. Pamper yourself. And that starts with healing. Love you guys. Bye. Yeah.